Are you comfortable with a 90% probability of success of not running out of money in retirement? Folks, what we do on this channel is create spreadsheets and run numbers for people. Let's say, for example, you've got $75,000 saved up. This is one of the spreadsheets we have made. Say you're 45 years old, plan on retiring at age 67, which will be 22 years from now, and you figure you can save $300 a month. And you can actually increase that by 3% a year. That just shows you some of the variables we can run here. Now, what we need to know is what you're going to get from Social Security because you're not going to retire totally on your nest egg. You want to go ahead and take Social Security at age 67. So, how do you know what you're going to get? You're 45 years old. How in the world are you going to know what you're going to get in Social Security? Well, actually, Social Security actually gives you a tool. It's called the Social Security Quick Calculator. It can be found at ssa.gov or socialsecurity.gov. All you do is enter your date of birth, what your current earnings are, then you click on whether you want your benefit figured in current dollars or future dollars. And if you pick current dollars, this is what comes up with these numbers. Current earnings 60,000 and $2025. At age 67, it projects you're going to have 2,200 at age 67. So 2,200, going to go ahead and put that in there. So that's your income. Now, we now need to look at the expenses. Again, how in the world are you going to know what you're going to need 22 years from now? Well, let's just say right now you need 5,000 a month. You kind of figure that's what you need. Well, over the next 22 years, that 5,000 that you currently need is going to grow by, let's put a 3% inflation rate on that. You're going to need $9,581. And Social Security, this 2,200 is going to grow by a COLA. This year's COLA was 2.5%. So we're going to go ahead and run it for 22 years at 2.5%. So this 2,200 is going to go to 3,787. And since you're taking age 67, you get 100% of that. So there's what your future expenses look like, what your future income looks like if you don't have any other income. So you're going to need $5,793 in your coming from your nest egg. Now, what do we do on this channel? We basically run numbers for people just to show you what you might have using the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is right here. These are the returns for the last 100 years. We figure it's probably going to be somewhat the same kind of returns going forward. It's really not going to be any worse than the Depression type years. And so we just go ahead and run the numbers and just pretend like those are the returns going forward. We assume they're probably not going to be any worse than what's happening in the Depression years. And what this shows you is, again, what is our question? Our question is, are you comfortable with a 90% probability of success? So what I've got highlighted here is the 90% success column right here. Actually, it's not a success column if your money doesn't last over 40 years. I want this to last over 40 years. So we're going to be looking at this column all the way through as we change these numbers. Right now, you can see with these kind of scenarios, these kind of numbers, taking Social Security at age 67, your money's going to last over 40 years, 90% of the time. There's 10% of the time it wouldn't last that long. In fact, if we look at this column right here, this is a 95% success column, comfortable column. You're comfortable with 95%, comfortable with a 5% worst scenario, then your money would last 31 years. This is actually the worst case scenario, folks. This is in the last 100 years. If you had these same numbers and we actually had the worst case scenario, which is right here, the Depression type returns, how long would your money last? 25 years given these numbers. Now, that's if you take Social Security at age 67. What happens to these numbers? Again, we're going to kind of stick to this 90% comfortable column where you're 90% of the time you'd have this kind of money left. Right now, it's lasting over 40 years. What happens if we retire 1 year sooner, which would mean these monies would have one less year to grow, and you get one less year of Social Security, and also you get 93.3% of what you're promised from Social Security. Then you can see your money's running out in 26 years. This is the 85% success column right here, meaning 15% worst scenario. Your money's running out of money in 36 years. So that's how all these numbers work. But what happens if you have these numbers? Maybe you don't have 75,000. We're just showing you some of the, let's say you have 40,000, but you retire at age 40. You're currently age 40. That allows Social Security to grow that much more. Now I want you to notice In almost every scenario, your money's lasting over 40 years because you've got 5 more years for this Social Security to grow. You've got 5 more years for these 40,000 growing. Even though you didn't have 75,000 anymore, you do have 40,000. That's going to grow. And in the worst case scenario is the only time you're having a situation where your money runs out in 33 years. But still, that isn't bad. If you're taking it at age 66, if you're planning on taking it at 66, and you got 33 years, that gets you to age 99 before you run out of money. And again, folks, this is in the worst case scenario. You're looking at the 90% success column. Your money's going to last over 40 years. Even the 95% success, money's going to last over 40 years. Let's go ahead and change this to age 65 now. You want to go out at 65. Again, you're age 40. Want to go out at age 65. That's 25 years. Now, in this 90% success column, your money's running out at age 29, 10% of the time. But other than that, you're just fine. It's going to last at least 29 years. Again, what are you comfortable with your money lasting? If you're retired at age 65 and it's lasting till age 94, 90% of the time, are you comfortable with that? Again, that's the question we're trying to answer on this channel. Are you comfortable with a 90% probability of success? We can keep changing this. If we go to, if you want to retire at age 62, the earliest you can retire, then it looks like you're going to have to increase your savings quite a bit, or either that or have more beginning if you have more than 40,000. But look at how much you might have to save if you want to have be assured that 90% of the time your money's going to last at least 40 years. Look how far down here we have to go. It's $550 a month. I haven't run this ahead of time. Looks like $700 a month would get you there. How about $650? $650 would get you lasting 35 years. So if you want to retire earlier with these kind of numbers beginning your age 40, you want to go to age 62, you're going to need to save $650 a month to have a 90% success rate of your money lasting at least 35 years. But that's how we run numbers for people. Again, it depends on when you want to retire, what age we're currently running the numbers at, what you currently have already saved, and how much you can save monthly. But that's what we do on this channel. We love running numbers for people. We set up spreadsheets to do all kinds of different scenarios. We talk about all these different issues in the withdrawal stage. And we just run numbers to show you where you might be. And again, are you comfortable with a 90% probability of success? It looks like in that case, you could have these kind of numbers and saving $650 a month, your money would last. Let's change this to $500 a month. Let's see, $500 a month, you're still okay. Back down to $300 a month, you're still okay because you're taking it at age 67. Once you go down to age 65, you can see these numbers changing. Your money's run out in 29 years, 10% of the time. And if you want to go down to 62, which we already looked at, you're going to be running out of money in 9 years if you're only saving $300 a month. It all depends on how long you have until your retirement, how long this money can compound. If you take it at age 67, your money's going to compound for 27 years. That gives you a chance of the money not running out 90% of the time. In fact, it looks like even in the worst case scenario with this scenario, your money's lasting over 40 years. But that's what we do in this channel. We run numbers. We use actual returns. We don't come up with Monte Carlos that kind of show you this, that kind of give you kind of a rough idea where you might be. I like to actually use actual numbers that have happened over the last 100 years. Again, please consider subscribing. Please share this channel with others. Let them know there's a channel out there that will run numbers for them. And thanks so much for watching. Please comment. Please ask your questions. I just love hearing from people. And please like the video also. Thanks for watching.